Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off.
Paul Brabson, All the Pressure podcast. It's Sunday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. My youngest son, Shama Sampson's birthday, a.k.a. Spaniard.
Happy birthday, Spaniard.
Hey. Right? This is a doubleheader for us, Paul. This is uncharted waters for us. Usually after a long podcast, which we just recorded, we're going home. Now we're doing a doubleheader. It's a beautiful day to play too, right?
Yes.
That's what we're doing here. We have Lauren Brabson, Adam Lengyel. Is that correct, Adam? Did I say that right? Okay, that's good stuff. Hey, I'm good, Paul. We're going to talk about music. And my hero growing up was Isaiah Thomas. They called him Zeke, and that's how I got the name Zeke. He once said that music is what makes the world go round. And I think universally, all over the world, it doesn't matter who you are, what religion you are, what color you are, what language you speak. When life hits you and hurts you and puts you down, a lot of times all we have is music.
Absolutely.
And we can retreat away into that. Adam recently was a guest of Chad Hazard at the Barberton basketball game where he sang the national anthem, and I was like, wow, that was really good, because usually we don't get that. Usually they have the little band playing or whatever.
Right.
And
Honored.
That was cool, and everybody loved it. I saw Dean Jones's wife, Amy Brown.
Yes, Amy Brown.
Amy had she had posted something about it. And she was really impressed with
My wife posted something also.
Yeah, well, you made a lot of people proud that night. It was good stuff.
That was the goal. I'd sang the national anthem before when Hazard had coached at East and Ellett. And it was Bookdale East, and it was packed, 5,000 in there. And I was so nervous. That wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not signed up for the wrong thing here. This is raw in here, It's like kind of hood in there, it's go time.
And you're not normally singing the national anthem.
I've never done that. And,
wow.
And I was like, man, what am I going to do? I cannot this up, you know?
Yeah.
And I worked well, and Hazard was like, you should have seen him. I mean, Hazard's team was not the most athletic team on the floor that night.
Yeah.
And they were blowing him up by 25. And I'm like, I'm out of here. Left at halftime. But that was the first time I knew that I could do it and succeed. But
were you worried at all about messing up the words?
Hard to bring it home.
A lot of people mess up the words of the anthem.
Yeah, correct. Hard to bring it home to Barberton with all these people watching. There, nobody knew me. You know what I'm saying? There, everybody's staring at my face. My mom's there, my dad's there.
No pressure.
My kids are there.
I was about to say, that's a good
there.
way to break you in. So when you come back to Barberton, you ain't got no issues.
Correct. And Chad won the championship that night for the league. It's been 15 years. We're roommates, friends. We're both standing there on the side. It meant a lot, to me.
That's awesome.
Hopefully to him too. But we talked about it. It was all. Like you said, to have the band usually does the pep band usually does the
So it was a different. It was
that's
a different
something
vibe
they practice too. They take pride in that too. But
oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
No, but it was different having your voice electrify the crowd. And then
I appreciate that.
At the end, he didn't continue with the words. He said the home of the Magics, right? Is that what you was?
That's what you grew up on, right?
Yeah, so it was good stuff, man.
I didn't know they didn't even do that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm not, everyone's got to join in, and nobody even said anything. I'm like,
did you decide to do that at the last second? Was that you just?
No,
doing
I
it
just
the last...
thought that everyone would do it as they usually do. But it's been so long since I've been to a game or whatever.
Right.
But
it wasn't the 90s.
It wasn't Reynolds, It wasn't Reynolds.
Adam, it was good. It was good, dude. We were proud of you.
Good. Well, hopefully I talked to. They want to do it at the football game, so I said I'd be honored one night.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, Paul, I'm going to let you take this over. Listen, Lauren, from what I hear, is a Brabson.
Correct. So we have some Barberton royalty with Adam Lengyel.
That's right.
We have already had this conversation.
It's just him. He's the royalty. I just
Well,
here.
hold on for a second, because you got some royalty blood in you. So because we have Lauren Brabson here, who is actually the daughter of Todd Brabson.
There's no nepotism, though. You have to work harder when you're related to
Right.
Brabson.
Let me stop you right there. I love Todd Brabson. Loved him since I was a kid. Todd would be in our neighborhood all the time, and he was a good football player, good basketball player. So
just athletic kid.
Yeah, we grew up looking up to Todd, and Todd would beat up the bullies that would mess with us, and so love Todd Brabson. So I'm looking at you much different now, knowing Todd is your father. So that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Go ahead, Paul. Take it away, Paul.
So a couple things here is we're obviously having a podcast because of local musicians. And now we have Adam Lengyel of the Wolves, and then we have Lauren Brabson, which we have a CD here. If anybody wants it, we can always have a plug. If we can contact Lauren, we'll put everything in the bio so everybody could be contacted if somebody's looking for it.
Absolutely.
So you guys obviously are on the local scene over here in Barberton. Is there certain places that you guys like to play, or is there certain places that you guys typically play more or less of?
I'll shoot the gap on that one.
Sure. And I feel like we run around kind of some of the same places.
Yeah, absolutely. We played many venues together.
Yeah. Jilly's, about this time a year ago.
Jilly's is really fun.
I played Jilly's the first time. It was the first time with a band that I had played. And Adam asked us to come out and play. So we played Jilly's together.
You guys had a lot of people come out there too.
It was
packed.
it was amazing. Well, you guys pull such a good crowd anyway. You make it kind of
It's a nice room because it's not that big in there.
But it's very easy to
So
feel
like 30 people, it looks like,
support.
man, this place is packed.
So Adam, did you have Lauren? Listen, Lauren's a beautiful girl. I mean,
Oh my
well,
God.
you're winning. Did have her lead off? Did she open up for you?
Yeah, she
Yes.
opened up the night. It was great.
You can't lose. That's a win-win.
Not only that,
Kidding
she's
me?
opened up for you, but I think
She's
you guys
played
are
other
trying to get
places,
on one of your songs.
That's right.
Correct?
Corner him.
Yes,
That's
I think
right.
we're trying. Yeah.
I've wrote many songs for, I don't want to say for other people, but I've had other people in mind when I've written songs, or one I have that's from the past might fit, something that they can do with it I can't achieve. And she's like, I'd love to do a song with her. So maybe we can knock that down in the future.
I would be so honored.
So with 20 minutes, they'll probably make it happen.
I would be so honored.
20
Like,
minutes. The
highlight
thing is,
bucket list.
she's in with Nate and them guys over there at the Rialto, which we love to play also.
That was next place I was thinking.
And they've done a couple of our mixes, and we've always been really proud of the way everything sounded coming out of there. And Nathan does such a good job just with all freaks, that he works with. We can be, me, of course, one freak.
Me, the other.
You got Kenmore rappers, symphony stuff, movie screening, plays, they got it going on over there at the Rialto. Shout out to the Rialto.
Absolutely.
They're doing big things over there. Him and Seth do a great job, bar wise, and talent achievement over there has been really, the sound's great. Really give birth to Kenmore Boulevard again, if you think about what's going on over there. They have like the 5th Friday or 4th Friday over there or something at Kenmore now. They're trying to get the community over there. They do, a concert every Friday after the thing's over.
I see a lot of plugs on social media for it.
And, Seth runs the whole thing over there, but they do a really good job. She's a big part of that too. She's been up there. Was a lot of this recorded in that same studio?
The Gypsy project that's right there on the table, everything Nate did. I had never worked with a band. I had never truly recorded before.
That's cool.
And, he was so patient with me and really worked with me.
That's what I'm saying. He does a really good job.
Now, who's Nate?
So Nate is the co-owner with his brother Seth.
Okay.
And he's the sound engineer. He's who you work with when you're going in to play live or when you go in to record. He's kind of your guy.
I got you. Okay.
And the Vail brothers, they've been in the scene for a long time.
They're musicians too.
Okay.
They've had, numerous successful bands like a band named Ashes and Nate Times 10, and they're veterans when it comes to that stuff. Now they kind of got that studio and their whole thing, and they just kind of, have set their own scene, really. And
So if somebody was looking to get into music, how would they contact these people? Would this be
they all have Facebook. They're all over the place. It's the Rialto. You can probably go to therialto.com. They have a whole listing of their whole shows, rialtotheater.com.
I have a question. This is an important question for a lot of people watching. You got a lot of young, aspiring musicians. Adam, Lauren, serious question. This is All the Pressure podcast where we want all the smoke all the time. How profitable, Adam? How profitable is it to be a local musician? Can you pay your rent? Can you pay your car note? Does it pay all the bills? I mean, or do you have to work another job? Tell me about that. I'm curious. I'm interested to know.
Like Kevin said, you got to pay to play.
That's it, man.
You got to pay to play. It's not paying with money a lot of times. It's paying with,
Your dues.
how hard you work that week, get out there and play in front of, 20 people or whatever. Or, the venue you're playing doesn't have the amount of people you want to have show up or whatever, it doesn't work all out the way you want it to be. Music is like golf. You're never going to par 18 holes. If you play 18 songs, you're not going to play 18 good. Unless you're a polished piece of statue somewhere out there, If I can't tell you messed up, then I can't tell if you're good,
Wow.
In my eyes, maybe other people, It's funny you say that because I used to watch all these concert DVDs at Hazard's house. We wouldn't want to buy the tickets at like $500.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go. I got this concert DVD. I'm like, ugh, let's watch that, And we'd sit there and watch it and we're like, man, she's great. With Stevie Nicks or all these old concert DVDs. And that's where I would, I want to say cut my chops or my teeth, but I would watch these just the way they performed and the way they acted. And
That's not
Song
one of the
to song
DVDs.
and
Hey, that's
stuff.
not one of the DVDs he's copping at the Hartville Flea
No,
Market.
I'm sure that's in the mixture of things out there. Shout out Chad's DVD business.
Yes, sir.
HazardDVD.com.
Love Chad. Love me some Chad. That's good stuff. That's good stuff, man. If you know Chad, you know Chad. Chad's busy. He's all over the place all the time. He's always engaged, man.
Yeah,
Love Chad. That's good
But I'm
stuff.
sure, when we go out, she goes out, we try to, like, just for an example, like if the band goes out and gets paid, you're not privy to pay the person that, opened up for you, but we make sure we try to take care of those people enough to they had enough fun with us or
because
they're gonna
that's
come
giving
back.
her a break to say, hey, it's putting her out there
And
where
her people
maybe
were
she
there
wouldn't have that
too, so-
opportunity,
Absolutely.
right?
she deserves her, she probably half the tickets, she plays with a band or opens up for a band or has her own show. Half the tickets to the other people that came to see your show too. So
Right.
And that's how my mindset works too. And I think in other places, like we have something really special here in Northeast Ohio where we all take care of each other. Like Adam called me up, said, hey, do you want to come play this show? We take care of each other. I don't know if it's like that everywhere else. And it doesn't feel like it's like that everywhere else.
Right.
So, we pay our opening acts, but I've definitely been on bills where I wouldn't be paid just because I was opening act. So
you got to
I
pay
just-
to play
Yeah, you gotta.
the game.
When you
Man, that's it.
I've seen some of Adam's stuff before, but for you, when you're singing, are you playing a guitar or
I am.
playing a piano? Or?
I play guitar.
Okay.
I'm a singer, songwriter.
Wow.
I'm very folk acoustic.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's fascinating. Wow.
And a lot of times you just take those just to pay to play, just to get out there, just to get your name out there, get exposure. Correct.
A lot of times the best gigs, just for example, porch rocker, they're having some sort of porch rocker in Barberton or something.
Oh, that's cool. I
I've
missed
heard
that.
about that. Well, that's just a breath in the wind. But porch rocker doesn't pay.
Right.
But for example, if you have a really good time slot and you're the band that they've considered, it could be 2,000 people standing out there, but you're not going to get paid, but you're going to get a chance to touch that,
Right.
Right.
crowd or that you're
And
wishing
you never
for.
know who's
you know
watching.
what I'm saying?
That's
you never know
exactly
who's
it.
You
watching.
never know who's
Yeah.
watching.
Now, this might be a bad question because I don't know anything about like the city of Barberton as far as how they do with the music they have down there on like the weekends and stuff. Would that be something that you guys would have ever been like, in like that would be a good venue for us?
You mean like the concert series or something like
Correct.
that?
Yes. So you have to have them down there at the Lake Anna and stuff like that.
Well, now that I can be free to talk about this, but we battled that place down there for a long time.
Really?
His name was Bill Curtin. Does anyone know who Bill Curtin is? He was the old band director for a long time.
I do not.
He was against a lot of local stuff because, there was an older crowd down there. They wanted to hear Elvis.
Correct.
So do I. That's my favorite singer of the old history of mankind. I'm down there every time he's here. But it was hard to break that barrier to get in there. And we got one night. And it's funny. I'm sitting in the studio and this is happening, but this art studio, Kevin made a painting of Bill Curtin. It was like he was down there yelling on the microphone. He said some shit. Was like, "This wasn't my idea to have this." And I'm standing there right next to the dude. I'm like, man, I'm about to knock this old man out standing up here, man. I'm so mad at this guy. Just younger me, dummy. I never would do that now, but I'm saying like, it was just like a barrier we were trying to break through to get there. And we finally did it and it went over really well, but I could just tell it wasn't our thing. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to sing Fleetwood Mac. I'm not that I'm not going to sing Fleetwood Mac, but I'm just not going to sing party songs that in a row.
Well, that's a complete different battle when you're.
I feel that's just what they want down there, and I understand, which I want that too.
Well, you're right because I go down there with my kids.
I want to hear songs I know too. We're not that a lot of times, and we battle that. I'm an original writer of songs, 500 songs.
Absolutely.
I'll throw one or two in there just to kind of connect with the crowd and go, look, we're not dead. We like music too.
Because that can be offensive to you as an artist.
That can be offensive, especially 50 and older crowd. Like, these dudes suck. That's why I keep that Elvis in the bag or like Robert Palmer or, like Seeger. And
which is pretty much all they play.
Which is not all they play, but just that genre of specific style.
Because that's a good place for me to go to take my little kids.
It's great.
Because they can run around
every
the lake.
time. My kids will go down there and see Elvis every time that he comes here. So they know. His middle name's Elvis. So he'll be down there.
That's awesome.
Well, Adam, if I'm coming to see you, I want to see your stuff.
Yeah, that's what another
saying?
thing is too. And I try to get with other people like Lauren that are, trying to release her own music and have people listen to, her feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's what that's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you guys don't want to get together. This is really what you want to play.
Absolutely.
Because
you'll go there and hear her play those songs.
Right.
So it's like.
Have you guys ever played in the Highland Square summer event they have in Highland Square.
Yeah, that's the porch rocker, which I was.
Describing.
They do a library series too. I don't know if that's what you're thinking. They do like a summer library.
I want to say it was in August one year. We were out at Highland Square.
Rocker,
Yep.
And there were people coming out of the cracks everywhere, and I said, "What is going on?"
There's like 30,000.
It was incredible.
Really?
And there's people on a porch, bands playing, and I was like, God, gave me goosebumps.
That's what I mean about not getting paid, but getting.
But that's so much highlight on local original music.
Right.
I mean, that's huge.
That gets a lot of exposure over there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Well, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching.
There's 150 bands in one day.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people there.
It's like 40,000 people there. This is the 10th, I think. We played the very first one. One of my buddies put their thing together.
Nice. Of all ages.
And then it kind of went down the line of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now there's food trucks and a whole park. And
it was...
They pick a specific area to have it, so it fluctuates around Highland Square. It's not always just like downtown or whatever.
I got you.
One week it'll be, or one time it'll be at where the mustard seed's at. 1 week it'll be at Hardesty Park, or one time it'll be at Hardesty Park. One time it'll be, a little more south. Yeah, it moves. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Which is good because everybody in the neighborhood gets a taste of a different porch. Well,
it's not on the same homeowners
it's
every
not
year.
on the same homeowners every year too.
Did either of you get started with music and singing in church growing up as a kid?
I did sing in church as a kid. I was very shy and very anxious, so I would never want to be like solo and do it. But I knew that I wanted to do it, so that's where I started.
Yeah. How old were you when you did your first solo?
Oh my goodness. It was probably after I started playing guitar, so I was probably 18.
18?
Yeah.
So you were at a mature age by that point where you
I was still
weren't
terrified.
11.
Yeah. No.
But you were still scared to death.
I was terrified. The first time I really played in front of a group, it was I was in my first semester of college, and it was a public speaking course. And they tied some assignment in. It was like dissect the lyrics of a song. And I was like, well, I'm a songwriter, so like I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah.
So they said you could bring in like one or two songs, and I chose another song, but then I brought one of my own songs as well. And I was therefore graded on one of my own songs. And it was...
That's brutal.
It was anxiety on every single level. I don't know what I was truly thinking, but yeah, I did, and I got an A.
You were 18 then. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26. So that's been an 8-year journey?
Yeah.
Where are you right now as we go? Like you're 26. You still want to break through, right? You're still grinding to...
Absolutely.
I mean, where are you at right now? What's your dream? What's your plan? Like...
I don't think it's something that I could ever stop doing. I think, and Adam, I know you're a songwriter too. I think when you're a songwriter, it's not something that you can necessarily put down. I think you do it and it's just kind of like breathing. You have to do it.
Yeah.
But performing out, I want to play as long as people want to hear me. I want to go as far as I can and do as many things as possible, work with people, build a band, and just
as Adam
going.
and Paul and Josh can attest, I've never heard you sing, but you got one thing going for you. You're very good looking.
Oh my gosh.
So you're already going to have the attention of the guy. Hey, hold up. Todd's going to be looking for you. I love Todd. Listen, I love Todd. I'm giving, this is a compliment to Todd.
No, I understand.
This is Todd's offspring.
I tell you what. She looks identical to her mother.
Oh my goodness,
Her and
thank
her
you.
mother look identical.
So now you're throwing Todd under the bus.
What? No, I kind of am on this. I kind of am. Her and her mom look almost identical, honestly.
That's
Thank you for saying that.
That's
I don't
awesome.
think I've ever seen your mom.
She's like the most beautiful lady in the entire world.
Oh, the chance to come to the show.
She's been to the show, Adam.
Now, both shows I've been to, her mom was at both.
I want to ask Adam this, knowing that Adam's close to Hazard. I got to ask Adam this.
Sure.
Did you get into music because of the chicks and everything else that went wrong with that? When you're a rock star, when you're a lead singer, come on. Sorry, Josh, I didn't mean to pound.
That's the questions I want to be asked.
It's all the pressure. Josh, this is all the pressure podcast. This is what we do.
A lot of times when I was younger, I would go to a place. I knew I loved music when I was young.
Yeah.
I worked at Ohio Wholesale. Shout out any Ohio wholesalers out there. But they would have, we'd have a packing station. Everybody had to be in the same room every day. And they'd fight over the radio, what station would be on the radio. So I'd listen to Howard to 8 in the morning to when he went off at 10:30, then they fight over radio. So one day it'd be country day. One day would be AZ88. One day would be 107.9. And one day would be 106.5 and then 97.5. And I would know every song on every station. And I would just be so sick of all the music that I was hearing. I was like, I'm on overload. So then I would go see a man named Roger Hoover. I don't know if you know who Roger Hoover is.
No.
Barberton, great player, singer-songwriter. And Chris Palmer, shout out Barberton legendary status. I don't know if you know who Chris Palmer is. Jay Palmer, Jaybird. He gave me a CD. I worked at the warehouse, and it was me and my dad, and he gave me a Roger Hoover CD. I was like 19. I was like lost. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do? You know? And I listened to that CD for like a year straight in my car, and I went and seen him at the Star Inn, and he was there, and he played the songs exactly like it was on the record. And I'm just like, man, that is just so fucking inspiring to me. And a lot of it was like intimate because it was about his dad, and like I knew his old man, his brother, and it was meant something. Like this is what music maybe might be able to touch somebody. You know?
How old
it's
was
a
you at this
strange
time?
magic.
By how old was you at this time?
I was like 20,
Okay.
19, 20 probably.
So too young to be in a Star Inn.
Yeah, too young to be in the Star. Oh, I had a fake ID. Shout out to David Schaefer. Schaefer, that's my boy.
Where does the Star Inn sit in Barberton?
The Star Inn's over on the north end. Do you
Over
remember
by
where
the old Clark gas station.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, Stone
And his
Surfer.
old man, my old man, ran in the Star Inn back in the day, and I still do. But his old man's passed away. He was a boxer, and they had all these cool songs about the Golden Gloves. You could just kind of relate to him if you knew the backstory a little bit about their family.
Yeah.
But then I went and seen him at a show at the place called the North Side Bar, which is at Luigi's Pizza, next to Luigi's Pizza in Akron.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was just like stunning me. I'm just like, man, just in a shiver up my back standing there. I'm like, man, this is just, him and Freddie Hill. Shout out Freddie Hill. They had this steel guitar and just a regular acoustic guitar, and they would play, and man, they would just fucking send a shiver through the room a lot of times when you hear a song that you loved or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, how can I do this? And then one night they let me sit in and sing a song in there. And I was just like, just let me sing this song. Fucking who cares? And he's like, all right, fucking go. And then I sang, I think, Amaretto Road or something like that. And I knew that I could want to touch the microphone. And that was a lot of times where I wanted to start playing. And then eventually, the goal was to get a show there and play the guitar. But I played a lot of songs that I knew at Jerry Largent's house. If anybody, just shout out Jerry Largent.
Adam, you know everyone.
I was about to say,
Shout out Jerry Largent, Pristine Exteriors, help you right out. But that's where a lot of this, funny you say that, a lot of the songs were run at Hazard's house in that sunroom right across from that funeral home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of songs right there.
So Hazard's got his hands in a whole lot of stuff. Basketball,
We're veterans.
local
We're
music.
veterans,
I mean,
man.
listen,
We're veterans, buddy.
If Joe Sarge was sitting here, Joe would ask
Joe called me yesterday.
Joe would ask you, well, Adam, how many chicks have you scored over the years because of the music?
I definitely
Now,
got a lot more done than what I should have.
we can't ask Lauren the same question.
No.
I definitely got into it because of the chicks. Absolutely.
She's got to fight him
I
off
was
with the
waiting
bat.
for you to ask.
That's good.
She's got to fight him off with the bat. But I did pull my wife. Shout out Haley Lingo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I
beautiful.
found my wife the music, so.
That's so awesome.
Or she tells me that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It keeps my spirits high.
That's awesome.
So without trying to get those questions confused of what you just, about what age was either one of you guys at, Lauren, that you knew that this is the route that I want to go?
So I knew as a kid I wanted to be a songwriter. I didn't grow up playing guitar. I don't come from a musical family. I don't come from a musical family.
Your dad's a horrible singer.
Hey,
I get
songwriter,
all of my talent from him.
a songwriter, not a singer?
Yeah, I at the time I figured it would go hand in hand, but I didn't know if it
Because I'm
would
trying
be,
to understand that, the different, because there's a lot of songwriters who can't sing.
but they have to sing them anyway, just in case it's a demo or to get it to somebody. So I don't like people staring at me. It's the funniest thing about being a performing musician is that I don't like people staring at me.
Just go into your eggshell and act like they're not there.
I panic blackout.
The
You
more
put the mic in
you
front of
don't
me and I'm
care,
gone.
the more they don't care.
So how does that work? If you're standing up there and you don't like to be looked at? What kind of mindset do you have to get into?
I just pushed through it. So going back to that kid that wanted to be a songwriter, that wanted to play an instrument, I started playing at 16, didn't play out till 18. Always kind of struggled with the anxiety of it, but I knew there's some driving force. Like it's just anxiety. And if I have a show coming up and I'm anxious about it, I try not to think in the anxious route. It's more of I get to go do it. People want to hear me play. And I know that's not something that's always going to stick.
Right.
So I'm blessed to get to do it. And I try to just keep doing it and drive through it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I'm sure. I've been down that road a couple times.
Yeah, and you try to use the
times.
anxiety. You try to just use it as like excitement instead of a bad thing.
Where are you guys family? But Adam, you said you pulled your wife with the music, right? So do you guys have kids? Are you a dad?
Yeah, I have two.
He's got some cuties.
Up and coming.
Baseball players. You were just outside playing baseball with them.
Yeah. They actually love music a lot too. They have dance parties all the time. Shout out Maverick and Million.
That's awesome.
They're 3 and 5. His birthday's coming up.
Wow.
They've been down to see the band a couple times, and I was having practice a couple times at my house, and the guys are over, and we're all down there. You know, they love being around that.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Hopefully, they can follow in footsteps of music or whatever. I said nice having a piano in the house because sometimes kids can learn young.
Yeah.
It's hard to teach a young kid to play guitar.
Right.
You can teach them to push on the piano. I go, Mom, remember this one A, B, It's hard to get a B on a guitar string,
Totally.
but hopefully they have musical talents. My youngest one is really sharp and has a really good ear for music, and you should see his little dance moves. It's quite the show.
That's cool.
It's quite the show. They were at the basketball game that night.
Seeing their dad perform.
Yeah.
What about
That
you,
must be
Lauren?
so cool.
Lauren, where are you at? You dating? No kids?
I have a dog.
You're
We're
a
very
dog mom.
happy.
You're a dog mom.
But that dog's going to be a part of every video it can unless you pull it out of the room where she's going to be.
Absolutely. We have separations.
What kind of dog is it?
She is a retriever mix.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with guys being intimidated to come up and talk to you?
I don't know if they are intimidated. I can never tell if somebody's hitting on me. That's like the hardest thing. Cause I act very much like I don't want to say carefree, but I mess with everybody. So I can never tell if somebody's hitting on me or if they're just trying to mess with me too.
You can tell.
No, I am oblivious.
You can tell.
I'm oblivious to it until like 40 minutes into the conversation. I'm like, oh, how do I get out of this? Like, ooh, no.
Do you aspire to have kids?
I hope to one day.
I'm asking for potential mates.
Oh, no.
That are watching the
Don't
show
do
now.
that.
We got off the music and now we're in the relationship.
I can step back. I've got this.
It's life. This is all the pressure podcast.
No, I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
Yes.
Talking about my dad, when I first started playing open mics, I used to have him come to open mics with me because guys would follow me out the coffee shop doors. And I'm like, I don't want them following me. So,
That's so cool.
My dad's the intimidating one. They'll
for sure.
back off very quickly.
Oh yeah, well nothing's changed then because Todd was a tough guy back in the day. We love Todd.
No,
That's good though.
He's like the best person though, honestly.
Yeah.
Strange
Like he's
power
my dad,
that
so maybe I'm
stage
biased.
and that
But
woman,
Yeah,
this
for
beautiful
sure.
can hold, isn't it? Strange power that is.
That's funny. That's
You have a
little
great
magic.
dad. I love Todd. I love
Thanks. I
Todd,
think so, too.
and that's a cool story to know that he was going to. You had asked him to come watch,
Yeah.
so he could watch.
yes.
and have
Well,
your
that was
back.
important too. Like it was
Yeah.
like, of course, like I want my family to come out and support me. And I really do have the most supportive family, especially for not coming from musicians.
Yeah.
I don't know if they always knew how to be supportive, but they always have been.
Well, is your mom and dad? I mean, at some point they're going to say, "Listen, Lauren, we'd like to be grandparents," right? I mean,
I have other brothers. They can do that. They love my dog.
then you're off the hook, right?
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Do your mom and dad come to the show every time?
Not every time, but they're pretty often.
My mom and dad
that's
were
awesome.
like,
The two I've been to was great. I mean, because I go, her whole family's there. And
Yeah.
It's
Todd pays. He buys the food and everything.
I'm gonna.
Oh no, don't put that out there. Then more people are going to come. They're just coming for Todd. They're not coming for me.
Adam, we have this paper here that says Saturday, April 20th. You guys, this is the first annual Green Gala.
It's like a Barberton Palooza.
It's in Barberton. This is in Barberton.
correct.
Where at in Barberton? The West Theater? Really?
Correct.
I gotta go there.
Oh, that August? Is that what August?
April.
April.
The West Theater
Sorry,
changed
I'm
my
20.
life as a little kid.
Yeah.
I watched Raiders of the Lost
420.
Ark, 1981. Walked out of there wanting to be Indiana Jones. Adam, tell us about it. What's this about?
Historical building.
Yes.
If you walk in there now, it's just like you walked in there before when you were young.
So
they've
awesome.
done all this great things.
Yeah.
Her name is Bonnie Green and Mark down at the West Theater. They've done a really great job. They're honestly getting the ball rolling. I think she has a restaurant out there or something that's going to pop off. But they've got other couple of bands that are booked down there, some shows. But this particular event is my one of my favorite things coming up. We kind of decided to come up with all this as the band, as everybody's idea throughout 4 or 5 months of planning. Bonnie really let us kind of take the freewheeling on what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
We knew that it was a special holiday for my band. My band has been driven around marijuana for a long time. Something about that green leaf that brings the boys together, I guess. But this is going to be an annual 420. We're looking to have this, numerous years in a row. This is our first go round.
Right.
There's 2 food trucks, just so I don't mess this up. I'll get all the naming right. Our really good friends that some of other great musicians are going to be there also. This is a 3-band event, 3-whole band style event. Us, of course, the Wolves, Hey Monet, which is a band out of Canton.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good.
Really just blow you away. Makes me sick how good they really are. Makes me want to throw up in my mouth thinking about how good these guys are. But great songwriters, really good friends. Like I say, living a dad life over there, great guys. They have a recording studio also. It's called Little C Studios.
Yeah.
Super professional. Right down in Canal Fulton. It's a beautiful place. Guys, it's a bed and breakfast studio recording. Yes, they got people from internationally coming around, staying in there for a week, working with these guys, hanging out in the bed and breakfast and like playing with the kids and like experiencing Mayberry down there, Canal Fulton, and like recording all these beautiful songs. And they have, heymonet.com, and they have a Patreon and where you can subscribe to their music and like really get down to like knowing the band and like all this extreme content. And like they'll sing you songs, like write a song for you. But they'll be there. Shout out to them. And then The Moderns, who is a Akron band, if I'm not mistaken. Doug Gallo, one of my friends from long music times past. We're excited to have him down there. Who else we got going on here? Oh, the food trucks. That's what everybody really wants to go there. Let's stop fucking around. We went to the pregame tavern, as I'd stated earlier, and this food truck was down there, and it was called Ferraro's Pizza. Mm-hmm. And I guess everywhere they go, they sell out. So I had to make sure I got that down there in time to get my hands on one.
Right. Yeah.
But there's only, if you think it's a brick oven pizza, if you like those bubbles, those crusts on that crust with like the bubbles on the top and the black, oh man, it's so good.
Now, I think, are you going to be playing here? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Correct.
You're going to be playing here?
Correct. The Wolves are, lead singer of the Wolves right there.
Do you find yourself in competition with these other bands, or are you both pushing each other to be better?
A lot of times, who bands have certain feelings, I go to see a band for a feeling, if they're going to give me the feeling I want, I can't wait to go play with them. Now, if I've never played with them before, it's even better because I get to go experience for the first time.
Right.
Well, they say that playing the opening gig's the best gig because you get to go get banged up and don't have to worry about, playing after, and you get to see the band, Like that's why Jilly's is one of my favorites because I get to go play with a cool band. I don't worry about sound. It's beautiful there, But this particularly, what was the question again?
Well, when you were talking about how good the one band was.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking as men, we have egos, we have pride.
Absolutely.
Do you find yourself in competition, or are you both as different bands pushing each other to be better?
Think of it as when you go play golf, like, who the best player is.
Yeah.
But do you really want to beat the best player every time? Probably. But are you going to beat him? Probably not.
Right.
So
that's good stuff.
Go there to enjoy your friends instead of compete with them.
Right.
Compete against the course.
Right.
Not against your friends.
Right.
That's why, these guys are really good players, and they've been really good friends of ours, which is a lot of these people on this bill, which makes this event a little different, is the fact that we're going to have 3 bands. There's a lot of turnover time and things like that when it comes to 3 bands. There will be no turnover time with this. We're having a side stage, which is acoustically driven. So once you see a band play, there will be a player like Laura that would be there that acoustically will start immediately, and that will be another thing that's going to happen while the band changes over.
Nice.
I was just going to say, because I don't see Lauren Brabson.
And then once it's just
Lauren's
done,
not playing. Lauren wasn't asked.
Oh, okay.
Once that's done, you'll see another band, and then you'll see an acoustic act, and then you'll see another band, and then go time, then it's a DJ party after that, and everybody's just going to hang out, of course. But that was the idea, to make everything flow throughout the evening instead of having to wait around or, deal with changeover times. And another thing we're proud to announce is a longtime radio DJ, Bill Hall, which has always been one of our big supporters at 91.3. Bill Hallmanax will be hosting the event that night.
Nice.
Which, will make everything flow a little, smoother, being an MC and having everything, dialed in.
I would have you finish up talking about the Crafted Eats folks. Who
Correct, yeah. One of my really good friends, Crafted Eats, will be there. Ferraro's Pizza. Crafted Eats is a charcuterie-driven snack, catery style
Yeah.
You know, she didn't want to compete with like the pizza and stuff, so she has all these other really good snacks like a little pork belly skewer and some fried pickles and like all this weed-driven, not laced with weed, but you know, weed-themed little treats. You know, she does a really good job presentation-wise. Her name's Andrea Hawkins. Well, it's not Hawkins anymore. I forget her last name. She just got married. We were at her wedding, but shout out Todd too. But she's going to be creating. That's all inside and. Which gives a little bit different vibe, just having some different taste in food in there. And
for sure.
Of course, full bar, 21 and over. Tickets are $10. If you want a pregame ticket, you can go to thewolves.com or wolvesband.com and you can order right there pregame.
That's so cool. And that's just basically a month away.
Correct.
Right?
We were really excited about this. It's one of the main reasons I wanted to come and talk to you guys because I'm really trying to promote this throughout the town. I want, you know, everyone to come have a good time, all ages. And there's some really good acts. These are really good acts.
Sounds like it'll be a good time.
These are really good acts.
The date on this one is 4/20. Right,
4/20.
Right now, you have a calendar. What day is that? Is that a Saturday?
It's a Saturday evening,
okay.
Yes. And this will kick off at the doors will open at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and show will start promptly. So.
Okay. Lauren, when's your next gig?
That was my next question. When's
oh my goodness.
Like mine,
that's a really great question.
When is the next show?
I believe I'm actually playing that night. In
a different venue?
Yes. It's Das Winehouse in Litchfield. That's where I'm at.
Man, that's awesome.
Little winery out in almost the middle of nowhere, ran by the best people. The wife is German and her husband's right there, probably a Wayne County, Medina County man. And they're the nicest people. Every time I go play there, they've made me a loaf of bread or they're sending me home with a bottle of wine. And they're such good people. And they're always trying to help me carry equipment. And
is that a 7 o'clock start?
That will be a 5 o'clock start.
5 o'clock
it's an
start.
early one.
What type of crowd are you going to get for that, do you think? Would you imagine?
Probably more of an older crowd. Okay. Maybe like there's some younger people, but kind of the area that it's at, it usually draws more of an older crowd. And it's people who want to hear the original music.
What's Litchfield?
Right on the edge of Medina.
Okay. You know, if you go to wineries, they don't let you play. You're not supposed to play like covers. There's like a license. Really? I know that's wild as hell to say, but
some of them are weird about it. Yeah,
there's like this license. So they want. I mean, it's a perfect market for if she wants to go get her music exposed because she's an original songwriter. So it's like
it's weird. The
winery scene's a very strange scene.
It comes back to that licensing fee.
Really?
Yeah.
The winery scene's a very strange scene.
Yeah, but
this is a different one.
You know, they're usually 9 times out of 10, their owners are like the most supportive of local music, and it's probably because of that, because of the original music. And
or there's a little stage in there that's driven to like 1 or 2 person acts that like have 2 guitars or whatever. It's not like you're bringing a band in there and going, to rock out,
Yeah.
No, I got you.
But it's nice to be able to I'm in a situation where I play with a band, but I still do a lot of solo stuff. So it's nice to be able to go to these wineries and just strip it back to my core and what I know and to just go be a songwriter.
Favorite stuff. That's my favorite stuff.
I was about to say, that's probably when you feel the most comfortable.
It is. It gets a little scary sometimes when I'm playing with the band a lot, or playing with other people a lot. And then all of a sudden I'm on a stage by myself and it hasn't been me by myself.
But now it's just you.
Yeah. But it's one of my favorite feelings because there's not too many times in life where you can just be vulnerable like that.
I was telling my kids here recently, we were watching an old Michael Jackson, where Michael Jackson was on stage by 50,000 people. Nothing in this world can be more powerful than an individual on stage with thousands of people being moved by what's coming out of that person's mouth.
Yes.
That's incredible, and that is powerful.
And everybody's hanging on a string.
Yes.
Strange magic.
Crying.
Strange magic.
Tears coming out. We got ahead of ourselves because we talked about April 20th. March 30th.
Yeah. I want to say
8 o'clock.
Jillies, they're really good.
You guys the Wolves are singing. And you're being special guest CeCe Taylor, is that correct?
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she's really,
give that
really
some
good. Jillies always takes care of us really well. She's great. She has really good talent coming through there, all kinds. Jazz, rock, singer-songwriter stuff, big band, dance nights. And the sound there is impeccable. It's like Tangier, but smaller and intimate. Like when we played there with Lauren, she sold out the whole bottom booth. It was just all her people. I'm like, who the hell are these people? These people are.
They knew you too, don't worry.
Look at these people.
I'm a little ignorant about this stuff. When you guys are singing, because you're both singers, you're both vocalists, do you have your ears with stuff in your ears? So Don't you wear things in your ears?
I don't.
To drown everything else out?
I tried inner ear monitors for a long time. Well, I didn't try for a long time. I tried them one time, and I was just like, I can't sing. I feel like I got my finger in my ear or something. You know what I mean? Unless,
That's fascinating.
I don't even a lot of times want to hear a monitor coming back at me. I don't know how you feel about that.
In the right place, like
I
the
hate
Rialto.
monitor coming at me because I'm holding a drum. You know, I'm holding like a acoustic guitar. It's like holding a goddamn drum.
Yeah.
I like.
So at the end of the night, are you like deaf?
No, a lot of times when I played with my the previous drummer, we'd have practice and it was like close, you know, and you'd leave there and be like trying to go to bed at night. It's like,
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Wow.
it was like, what the fuck's that noise?
That's incredible. That's incredible.
But Julie's has really good sound and they have good food and the drinks are great. It's, dress up, classy. I'll be, we'll dress to the nines for that one. And
Are you bringing your cape back out?
I have the weed cape.
That was.
I have the weed cape.
was
The weed cape
perfect.
will be at 420 show. I think I'm just going to pass it around so everybody can wear the weed cape at 420.
How often? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask her real quick because I'll forget otherwise. Do you know who Lauren Daigle is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to see her play years ago before she was opening up for other bands and stuff. Do you have any dreams or aspirations to be that? She took off, man, and like it's just incredible, like her voice and her.
I'm going to work really hard. And if that opportunity comes, I'm not going to say no.
She sees the day.
Because everything set aside, this is what you want to do 100%, period. Full
Yeah.
time.
It's mostly what I do right now.
Right.
I do work part-time with the Rialto. That's why I was trying not to be really biased when you were talking about the Rialto.
Yes, I knew you were doing something there helping
I'm
out.
there. And, but
Whatever you're doing is working. Keep it going.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Whatever you're doing is working.
I'm trying. I always tell people I do whatever Seth Vale tells me to do. So
They're smart.
whatever he
Them
needs
boys are
done,
smart.
they
Yeah,
are
they're
smart.
vets,
and they're musicians. They're running a music venue. They've been on every aspect of it.
Every night is something in there. I can't even get in there.
How
Oh,
often?
yes, you can.
I
You
mean, I
talk to me.
can, but I can, but it's
I have
you gotta
access
get
to that booking schedule, too.
You gotta call him.
How many times have you guys actually worked together?
We've played a few shows together.
I think we played 2 or 3. She came down and played. I think that was my most intimate. That was probably the most beautiful I've heard you sing was at Hex.
Thank you.
You really had the room captivated in there, I think. And it's an intimate kind of, it's fucking it's small.
I don't know
as
how
this
you
in
guys
here,
got up there, honestly.
It's what I'm saying. Like, you don't really have to have this. You got to play to the room you're in. You can't just go
Yes.
bang some 50-year-old lady out in the front
Right.
row sitting at the table, You got to play to the room you're sitting in.
Absolutely.
Who did you look up to growing up? Like, who did you aspire to be? What female singer or male singer, whoever?
Oh my goodness. Loretta Lynn was probably my earliest influence. And it wasn't even just like her musical talent. It was just how strong of a woman
That was
she
my
is.
grandma's favorite.
Loretta Lynn. I was about to say, you went old school.
That's where my roots are. I mean, I love Loretta Lynn. I love Patsy Cline.
You know who Sierra Farrell is?
Yeah. She's got that
She is
old school
so
sound.
good, dude.
So the music that you listened to growing up, was that because of your mom and dad?
I don't know, like intentionally if it was, but that definitely influenced it. Like I remember some of my earliest music memories are Bob Seger and Vince Gill because we would have CDs that were just playing in the car, or playing in the kitchen while we're cleaning Saturday mornings.
Right.
So a little bit. I don't remember how I fell into like Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline, but it was probably something from when I was really young.
I got you.
I said Patsy Cline, so I have to share this because I thought of it earlier. We're talking about like original music and how important it is.
Yeah.
When I was first starting out and still kind of struggling a lot with the anxiety, my pap, Ray, and oh my goodness, this man always had some kind of advice for you, and you never know if it was going to be good or bad. But this is something that still sticks with me to this day. But he came to one of my like open mic sets, so it's like 3 songs, 15 minutes, whatever it may have been. And he's listening and we're talking about it after, and he goes, "You are always going to have your songs and no one can ever take that away from you." And he was being very, very supportive of my original music, saying nice things, but he goes, "But you have to learn to throw a cover in." He goes, "You have to go up there and sing some Patsy
Everyone
Cline or
always do that.
something.
Yeah.
Go sing some Patsy Cline to draw people in." He said, "Then you can hit them with your original music."
Yeah.
And I still don't do that, but it's just something, it's that you have your original music and no one can ever take that away from you.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you guys are both, your life is music. Is there ever a time where you're sitting at home just by yourself, thinking about a song, thinking about writing, start jotting down, just like poetry, and are you ever moved to tears as you're doing it?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Rick Rubin said, you know who Rick Rubin is?
No.
I've heard him.
Rick Rubin said, never be worried about what anybody thinks about your song because it's really just a diary entry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would you be worried about what anybody thinks about your diary entry? You know, it's just a day in your life. You know, oh, that's a fucked up day. You know, I read about that day, you know.
Yeah.
Boo, you know, and it's not like that. You know, it's just like, same thing with shows. Those are just diary entries. How many more times can I do this? You know, how many more times can I get 6 men together to practice and play all this shit? That's a strange little magic, that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, it's weird to see someone on a stage and really make everyone believe.
Yeah.
It's very
It's a good way to look at it.
And it's courageous too.
Absolutely.
What they do takes courage. It takes courage to
100%.
get up,
I mean,
and perform.
Kind of like we spoke. Not everybody can turn around and get on a podcast and talk and keep everything. Not everybody can get on a stage and turn around and keep everybody's interest focused on your group and singing. So I mean, it's.
You can ask Chad Hazard how many times I text him and say, "Hey, it ain't easy, and it ain't for everyone."
Well, I mean,
Absolutely.
You know, you just going in front of 5,000 people. You were nervous.
Absolutely.
You know how many people would probably fold going on there?
Absolutely. I wish I would have had that opportunity. I had that opportunity when I was younger. I wish I'd had the opportunity as an older man just to kind of appreciate it a little more.
Right.
But my favorites are like the King, Elvis, obviously.
Yeah.
At the Moose, when I was a younger man, I was like 10, 12, and Marv, what's his name? Something Albert. It's not Marv Albert. That's like the
the sports commentator.
I think his name's something Albert. Albert's his last name. He's like one of the best renowned Elvis impersonators, and with the Moose.
Really?
And I went there with my grandma and grandpa to the Moose, and he would like go around to the table, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and then they handed the mic to me, and I sang to Elvis. I'm like, ugh, that was awesome.
That's funny.
I'm like, man, that's why I loved Elvis so much. But yeah, I love all tunes. I like singer-songwriter stuff the best.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
But I really love R&B 90s, 112.
Oh, yeah.
I really think some of the best music. I mean, personally,
You used to listen to Z88?
Yeah, I was forced to, but yes, I did listen to that.
We all did back in the day. Lauren, you're younger, so you probably don't remember that. But
I loved Z88. I went to Akron, so.
Yeah. How old are you? I don't think we got your age. How old are you?
I'm 41.
41, okay.
Are you really?
So yeah, you're about a year behind Hazard probably.
Yeah, me and Chad grew up together. Yeah.
Right.
You don't look it, sir. You're doing good.
I've heard that.
You're doing good.
A lot of weed, buddy.
Well, Paul, I don't know. Do you have any other questions you want to add? I was very impressed with you guys and your presentation here because, again, what you guys do is inspiring and it takes courage to get up. What he just did at the Barberton basketball game, it was packed there that night. To get up and sing the national anthem and to end it how he did,
appreciate that.
Take some guts.
Yes, it did.
You know, and Barberton North End. When they say that kid's from Barberton North End, I see it. Yes. I love it. You know, I love it. So, Adam, we're proud of you, brother.
So my question is, one always left is Laura, please take the stage and let everybody know where your next show's at, just to kind of remind everybody.
Yeah, I'm at Das Wine House on April 20th. Not to compete here with you, sir.
No,
but if you just feel like hanging,
you've already divided the room.
Come too early.
If you're feeling like just hanging and having a glass
Maybe
of
I should
wine,
just come there.
You have to sing with me if you do.
Okay.
I'm going to put you to work. That's April 20th in Medina, Litchfield, right there on the edge. And at 5:00.
For the right money, though, you would dump that to come be with Adam. And
I cannot answer that question. My publicist tells me not to answer any personal questions.
Got to pay to play.
Perfect. And then Lauren Brabson also has a CD. Again, like I said, if anybody would like to get the CD or know a little bit more about it before a show comes up, please reach out to the podcast.
Gypsy, is that what the name is? Gypsy?
It is. It's called Gypsy. That's my title track.
Nice.
I took that picture out at Silver
You might
Creek.
want to turn that around, Paul, so they, okay.
Both were at Silver Creek. Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's cool.
Adam,
that's the one I got.
When your next show's coming up here pretty quick.
March 30th.
Pretty quick.
Correct. Right? That's why I wanted to talk about that one. We'll be dressed to the nines. Hopefully, I've got a little photographer coming through. It's always nice to get like some band shots and stuff. The girl we have opening up is really good. I want to see her too. And they have a nice green room, and we get pizza right next door, Luigi's. So
that's good that you brought that up, Adam, about having photography there. And do you guys push that out on social media, Instagram, Facebook? I mean, that's important, right? Are you doing that? Like what he just said, he's having a photographer come. Do you invest in that?
Sometimes I do, depending on the show. Sometimes, if it's a smaller show, I just use
Maybe
whatever.
not.
Yeah.
Right.
Use whatever someone else takes. But if it's a bigger show like Jilly's or the Rialto or wherever it may be, I'll usually bring someone
And I
out.
think that dude dropped some. He had dropped some photos of you from the Jilly show. The same guy, wasn't it? I think
there were a couple people out that night,
I thought he
actually.
basically wanted to take some pictures of you too. He hung around. I thought.
Yeah, because in this business, you got to self-promote.
Yeah,
Right?
well, it's
You
big.
gotta.
I hate that, but yeah, a lot of times, my buddy that played in the band, his name was Brian. He would hate that you would show where all your shows are at one time, because it like doesn't give you a chance to see him. I don't want to say on schedule, but like say, they're coming
catch
back
them
in
the next
July. You know, they don't know they're coming back in July. This might be the last one ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know what they have booked. They have nothing booked. They have this. You know, I better go see, or I don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's why we try to keep it, month out, and for promoters' sake too. I don't want to be like, not to, say these two shows are in competition, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good as an owner of a club to see you advertise another show that's after your show if your show has not happened.
Especially if they're close together.
Especially if they're close together and it's in the same town and the same people are going to be there. They've already seen you. They're not going to show up again.
Yeah, where they can turn around and say, I'm going to be over here.
Oh,
They
I'm
come
going to
to
be
this
over
one,
here.
they
I'm
come
going to
to
be here.
that
That's
one.
why I try to make
Absolutely.
these as special as possible for my people when they come out, because I'm doing backstage. I'm doing stage props and all that. This will all be we take our time and invest a little bit of money when it comes. We're dressed up. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to pay to play.
And you kind of
costs
just nailed
money.
it.
Yeah.
You talk to musicians. People who aren't musicians don't always see it this way, but you look at a musician, you're like, oh, it's just someone who gets on stage, plays guitar, play with a band. But you have to be a business person. You have to be a salesperson. You have to be into marketing.
Yeah, I
You
hate
have
that part of it,
but that's how you're seen. I know
Correct,
exactly what you mean,
correct.
but you have to have you have to have good photography. You have to have good quality music. You have
Yeah,
to.
and a lot of times we never really
everything.
had that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And almost you almost got to be a
we never
very
really had,
sociable
but
person.
we're good at that.
Absolutely.
Because you got to be able to go out and talk to people, sell your. I mean, you're selling yourself. You're
Kiss
selling
baby,
your product.
sign autographs.
Absolutely.
Correct.
You know who's a big fan
Be
of
nice.
yours? Ryan Mulrick.
I
Ryan
love
Mulrick loves you
Lord
guys.
Mulrick.
Yeah, Moe.
He's my Florida brother now.
Yeah,
He's in
and he
Florida
pushes
down
you
there.
guys. He'll post you all on his page.
Shout out, Rye guy.
Yeah, love you, Ryan. Ryan's my guy. I love Ryan.
So I guess the next last thing that I really want to say is try and get you guys together as far as getting a song.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
What the hell? We can make that
I
happen.
told you we brought you here to corner
I
you
have
about.
one.
And by the way, I had a request before we started. The show.
I did. He called me this
It
morning.
ain't the national
and
anthem. Oh,
No,
Jesus
no.
Christ.
I said, help me. We're here to corner Adam. Please help me.
Was to try to get you guys in the room to try to see if you guys
Cool.
can get a song
I'm totally
together.
open to that. I've definitely, we spend a lot of time writing tunes, just sitting alone thinking of shit. But I have one I think that would work really good for Lauren.
That'd be
Nice.
so awesome, man.
Nice. Plus, it's always nice to see that, especially local musicians, anybody that's doing things local to work together to kind of catapult
Yeah, that's what
themselves.
this
at that
idea
next
was.
post.
The whole thing of this thing was about on the 420. These are our friends.
It's a lot of what you do in general.
We're 40 and over.
Right.
We're not I'm a young kid, and there's probably not two 21-year-old kids there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lauren, can I put you on the spot? Sure. Is there any way you can sing happy birthday to my son Shama?
There you go.
Oh no.
Just a happy birthday to you. It doesn't.
What is this? So like some
The
Marilyn
hardest-
Monroe
That's
president?
like the hardest, ugliest song to sing.
Well, maybe we can do it in person sometime.
I would love that. I
How
would
old is he?
definitely do it.
He just.
Oh, Adam's gonna do
today
it.
he turned 3.
Oh.
Shama Sampson. That's
Our
his
kids
name.
are the same age. That's good.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm 51, still changing diapers, so it's rough.
Awesome. We're on the same page. We're on the same horse here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, my son's only 2.
Yeah, well, let's have a daddy day. Let's have a daddy
Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
McCafferty.
I wish I could be 41 again. Adam's 41.
Right.
I was in the best shape of my life at 41, so I wish I could go back 10
At 41,
years.
I was in very good shape.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I remember seeing you and pictures of stories of you running before I even knew who you really were or what your
Yeah.
story was. And
Yeah.
that was really inspiring. You pushed someone that was that was handicapped in a wheelchair.
yeah, in a wheelchair.
That
yeah.
was fucking inspiring, dude. I
Yeah.
will say. Not too many people talk about that on here. I haven't seen people talk about that, but that
Yeah.
was nobody.
Oh, if you haven't seen people talk about it, believe me, he talks about it. He doesn't
We're
have
gonna
a
let
problem
him
talking
talk
about
about
it.
it. We're gonna let him talk about it.
Listen, I had just come out of prison, so that was a dark point in my life, and Andre saved me. He has cerebral palsy, and right now he's going through a lot of health
A lot of
issues.
people don't know that. I mean, you're sitting here now, but I'm saying like that was fucking inspiring. I will say.
Thank you, appreciate it, man. He
Paul, I've
saved
seen
me.
your cement work. That's inspiring too. That's inspiring too.
Well, Lauren, You're more beautiful
Oh my gosh.
in person than you were in the pictures. Because
Oh my
I was
gosh,
I
not
was
even.
gawking over the last few weeks. I've been saying, oh, we're really gonna have her on the show. So I was excited, and Adam not as excited for you because you're
okay.
you're not as good looking as she is.
Oh
Okay.
no, yes he is.
okay.
He's better than me.
No, Adam's
okay.
handsome, but
He's just married. We can't say that.
Correct. I am spoken for.
His wife and kids are coming after me.
No, we appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah,
man.
thank
It
you
was
guys.
Thank
very
you.
much.
It's my pleasure. I know you guys are cool. I knew the deal.
It was nice
this-
being led. It felt like they were leading the
100%.
dance.
It was
Right.
mostly
Keep us
Adam.
Oh, you guys got something special going here. Keep it going.
Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you guys for
Thank you
giving
for
us the
having us.
time and tolerating us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. I was going for the fist
I
bump
would
too.
kiss you too.
Oh my god.
Tell that Adam.
Yeah.
Josh, you're going to take us out of here. All the Pressure Podcast, where we want all the smoke all the time. Let's fucking go. Give us our music.
Run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my